is the first emperor's tomb. And it's at the center of what is thought to be the largest burial complex.
Beneath a towering mound of earth in the heart of China lies a secret untouched for over 2 millennia. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, has remained sealed, shrouded in mystery and legend. For more than 2,000 years, no human eye has witnessed what lies beneath, and yet the world above can only glimpse hints of its grandeur. Ancient records whisper of chambers filled with unimaginable treasures, of halls constructed to mirror the universe itself, and of traps designed to kill any who dare intrude. These legends have fueled countless imaginations, giving rise to stories so chilling that even modern archaeologists approach the site with caution. The tomb is not merely a resting place, it is a silent monument to power, obsession, and fear. Imagine a structure so vast that it dwarfs the largest known burial complexes on Earth. Imagine a subterranean city built entirely for a single man, a ruler whose ambition knew no bounds. The very earth above it hides a story of conquest, terror, and an emperor's desperate bid for immortality. Its presence is a silent challenge to humanity, to uncover, to explore, and yet to respect the unyielding secrets that lie beneath. Despite the allure of treasure and knowledge, the tomb remains sealed, a timeless fortress of mystery. The world has only seen fragments of its story, texts written centuries ago, scattered relics, and the Terracotta army that stands vigil above ground. These soldiers, frozen in clay, are the only hints of a far greater realm below. As technology advances and new methods allow us to peer closer than ever before, the question grows louder. What truly lies inside this forbidden tomb, and why has it remained untouched for over 2,000 years? Could it be a palace of unimaginable wealth, a city of death, or perhaps a monument to a ruler who sought to defy mortality itself? The answers remain as elusive as the tomb itself, waiting patiently beneath the mound of earth that guards them. With centuries of silence, the story of Qin Shi Huang is entwined with the story of his tomb. From the moment he claimed power, his destiny was marked by ambition, fear, and the desire to dominate not just the land, but time itself. And it is. This very ambition that transformed a mere burial site into a complex that may hold the truest reflection of his reign. Grand, terrifying, and eternal. Each brick, each chamber, each artifact is a piece of a puzzle that tells a story of obsession, brutality, and the relentless pursuit of immortality. The tomb, therefore, is not only a relic of the past, it is a window into the psyche of a man who changed the course of history forever. Standing above ground, the Terracotta army offers the first tangible glimpse into the scale of Qin Shi Huang's ambition. Over 8,000 life-sized soldiers have been unearthed, along with hundreds of horses, chariots, and weapons, yet these are only fragments of the immense forces buried within the tomb complex. Each figure is unique, no two faces alike, each one capturing the personality, rank, and appearance of real men who may have served the emperor in life. The soldiers are arranged meticulously in battle formation, as though ready to march at the command of their eternal ruler. These clay warriors are more than artistic achievement. They are guardians of a secret empire. Every soldier, every chariot, every horse is a silent sentinel, meant to protect their master in the afterlife. The scale of the army hints at what lies below. Vast halls, hidden chambers, and treasures, so unimaginable that no single human could fully comprehend them. For centuries, the army has stood silently, a warning and a clue, beckoning archaeologists and historians while simultaneously warning them of the dangers of intrusion. What makes the Terracotta army so extraordinary is not just its size, but the level of detail. Faces are sculpted with individual expressions, hairstyles reflect regional variations, and armor and weaponry are crafted with painstaking accuracy. Scholars believe that these warriors were not mere decoration, but part of a grand vision, a lifelike replication of the emperor's court and military forces. The army tells us that the tomb is more than a grave. It is a kingdom, a projection of power designed to endure for eternity. Despite the soldiers' silent presence, questions abound. How many more remain buried? What other guardians wait within the tomb? Reports suggest that only a fraction of the complex has been excavated, with large portions still untouched. Beneath the earth lies an intricate network of chambers, possibly containing rivers of mercury, celestial maps, and treasures of jade, gold, and precious stones. Every element of the Terracotta army, from its formation to its weapons, is a carefully placed piece in a larger puzzle, hinting at the scale, ambition, and paranoia of the emperor who ordered their creation. The army also reflects the human cost of such ambition. Tens of thousands of artisans, laborers, and slaves contributed to the creation of these soldiers, and many paid with their lives. Their efforts were monumental, yet their sacrifices were meant to remain hidden forever, buried, alongside the emperor's vision of immortality. In this way, the Terracotta army is both a testament to human ingenuity and a haunting reminder of the toll exacted by absolute power. The army's silent vigilance raises one unavoidable question. If these above-ground figures are so meticulously designed, what wonders and horrors lie below in the sealed tomb? The soldiers are only the beginning, the first hint of a subterranean world built to mirror the emperor's dominion and to protect him for all eternity. Each clay figure is a whisper from the past, urging us to peer deeper, even as the shadows of fear and speculation warn us to tread carefully. Qin Shi Huang's rise to power was born from chaos. He emerged from China's warring states period, a time when rival kingdoms waged ceaseless battles, leaving villages burned, families shattered, and the land strewn with corpses. Into this world of anarchy and despair stepped a man whose ambition knew no bounds. With unmatched cunning and ruthless efficiency, he defeated his rivals one by one, ultimately unifying China in 221 BCE and declaring himself the first emperor. To his subjects, he was both a godlike figure and a terrifying ruler. His name became synonymous with power, fear, and inevitability. Yet his rule was not merely destructive, it was transformative. He imposed a single writing system across his empire, standardized currency, and enforced strict laws to maintain order in every corner of his vast domain. Roads, canals, and walls were built to unify and control, and the earliest foundations of the Great Wall were laid to protect the empire from external threats. However, the human cost of his ambitions was staggering. Millions were conscripted into forced labor, building walls, palaces, and monuments. Entire families perished under the relentless demands of construction, their lives considered expendable in the pursuit of glory. Qin Shi Huang's vision of a unified empire was built upon fear and suffering, a reflection of his unyielding desire for control. Beyond infrastructure and laws, the emperor sought to consolidate his authority over knowledge itself. Ideas that challenged his rule were considered dangerous, even poisonous. In 213 BCE, he ordered the infamous burning of books, targeting scholars and philosophers who dared question his power. Those who resisted were executed or buried alive, their voices silenced permanently. This campaign of intellectual annihilation erased history, philosophy, and poetry, leaving only the narratives the emperor wished to preserve. Yet for all his power, Qin Shi Huang faced an enemy he could not conquer: death. Mortality haunted him, and his fear of the inevitable drove him to obsession. He sought out legendary elixirs, rare metals, and potions, believing they could grant him eternal life. Ironically, these same measures poisoned him, particularly the mercury-laced pills he consumed in hopes of immortality. The emperor's fear of death transformed into a single, monumental project: his tomb. From the moment he unified China, He envisioned a subterranean world that would reflect his empire and protect him beyond life itself. It was to be a kingdom beneath the earth, mirroring his dominion above, where he could rule for eternity. The tomb was both a reflection of his brilliance and a testament to his paranoia, built with precision, grandeur, and a relentless demand for perfection. In life, he ruled with terror. In death, he sought to extend that power indefinitely. Every decree, every construction project, and every act of brutality was a step toward this ultimate goal. The tomb was not merely a grave, it was the physical embodiment of his obsession with immortality, a fortress of stone, clay, and precious metals, designed to endure long after the world above had forgotten him. Qin Shi Huang's fear of death was all-consuming. No matter the conquests, no matter the wealth or power he amassed, the inevitability of mortality haunted him relentlessly. To him, death was not merely an end. It was a threat to his legacy, a challenge to his authority, a force he refused to submit to. It drove him into the realm of obsession, compelling him to seek immortality at any cost. Ancient texts tell of emissaries sent to distant lands in search of mythical elixirs, of alchemists offering strange potions infused with rare metals, promising life beyond death. The emperor, desperate to escape his fate, consumed these substances, without hesitation, unaware that the mercury within them was slowly poisoning his body. This quest for eternal life was not a private indulgence. It shaped the very core of his empire. Every decision, every project, every decree was tinged with the desire to extend his existence beyond flesh and time. But his obsession found its grandest expression in the tomb. For decades, he envisioned a burial site that would not simply house his mortal remains, but preserve his power, presence, and spirit for eternity. This was to be a kingdom beneath the earth, a reflection of the empire he built above. Rivers of mercury were said to flow like liquid mirrors of the great rivers and seas of China, chambers filled with treasures, palaces lined with jade and gold, ceilings painted to mirror the cosmos. All were part of a meticulous plan to dominate not just the living world, but the world beyond it. Every element of the tomb was designed to immortalize him. Clay soldiers were sculpted in thousands, each with distinct faces, hairstyles, and armor, poised to protect him in death as they had in life. Horses, chariots, and weapons were positioned in precise formations, forming an army ready to serve him beyond the grave. It was a vision of eternity built with painstaking attention to detail, fueled by the emperor's fear, brilliance, and unyielding will. The pursuit of immortality, however, came at an enormous human cost. Hundreds of thousands of laborers, convicts, and peasants were forced into backbreaking work, their lives considered expendable. Families disappeared under the weight of construction. Some legends claim that those who completed the tomb were executed or buried alive, ensuring that its secrets would remain sealed. The emperor's obsession with eternal life transformed countless lives into sacrifices for his vision, even in death. Qin Shi Huang intended to project fear and authority. His obsession with immortality was inseparable from his desire for control. Through the tomb, he sought to govern time itself, leaving a monument so vast, so meticulously designed, that it would echo his dominion for all eternity. And so, the emperor's quest for immortality became the guiding force behind one of history's most ambitious construction projects. A subterranean empire, a fortress of power, terror, and vision, hidden from the world above yet radiating. The ambitions of a ruler who refused to die. The construction of Qin Shi Huang's tomb was unparalleled in scale, ambition, and secrecy. Records suggest that the project began almost immediately after he seized the throne at the age of 13, and it continued for nearly 4 decades. Hundreds of thousands of workers were conscripted, a mixture of peasants, convicts, and enslaved. Laborers, all tasked with creating a subterranean city worthy of a god-emperor. The sheer scale of the undertaking is difficult to comprehend. Vast underground chambers, flowing rivers of mercury, palaces filled with treasures, and corridors that mirrored the layout of the empire itself. The labor was grueling, and the human cost was staggering. Accounts describe entire armies of workers perishing in the course of construction, their bodies buried alongside the stone, clay, and earth that formed the tomb. Each worker's death was absorbed into the monument, a grim testament to the emperor's ruthlessness and the obsession that drove him. Families vanished, villages emptied, and countless lives were sacrificed to a vision of immortality that only one man would see realized. Ancient historian Sima Qian, writing about a century after the emperor's death, described the tomb in chilling detail. He claimed that the underground complex contained rivers of liquid mercury, arranged to represent the empire's rivers and seas. Above these flowed ceilings painted with stars, a cosmic map of heaven itself. Every element reflected both the emperor's ambition and his desire to transcend death. The tomb was not simply a resting place, it was an empire in miniature, a world carved from stone and imagination, designed to preserve the emperor's power and presence for all eternity. The Terracotta army, too, was a central element in this vision. Thousands of life-sized figures were placed strategically to guard the emperor's resting place, each soldier unique, each poised in battle formation. Chariots and horses were meticulously positioned, weapons aligned as if ready for war. These guardians were more than symbolic. They were a physical manifestation of the emperor's fear, paranoia, and desire to dominate the afterlife. Even in the modern age, technology hints at secrets within the tomb too shocking to ignore. Ground-penetrating radar and other techniques have revealed anomalies suggesting chambers, corridors, and perhaps treasures still buried. Yet for all our advances, the heart of the tomb remains untouched. It is a sealed world, a testament to ambition, cruelty, and the human drive to control fate itself. The construction of the tomb was therefore both an engineering marvel and a monument to terror. It combined imagination, artistry, and sheer brute force. Every stone, every river of mercury, every soldier sculpted in clay was a piece of the emperor's obsession with immortality. It was a project that demanded the impossible from humanity, and in return offered a glimpse into the mind of a ruler whose ambition reached far beyond life itself. The Terracotta army is not merely a display of artistry, it is the emperor's eternal military, a ghostly force meant to protect him in the afterlife. Over 8,000 soldiers have been excavated, yet thousands more remain buried, their faces frozen in expressions of vigilance and determination. Each figure is unique, with individualized facial features, hairstyles, and armor, representing a careful study of the human form and military hierarchy. Horses and chariots accompany the soldiers, meticulously arranged to form an unstoppable force poised for battle, even in death. This army, so vast and detailed, hints at the grandeur of the tomb itself. The soldiers were intended not just as guardians, but as a reflection of the emperor's power, his obsession with order, and his desire to maintain control beyond life. The scale and craftsmanship of these figures suggest that the subterranean world is far larger and more elaborate than the Terracotta army alone can indicate. Legends describe the tomb as a fortress, sealed with traps and deadly defenses. Some accounts suggest that corridors were rigged with crossbows, booby traps, and mechanisms designed to kill intruders. Thousands of workers who helped construct the tomb may have been executed or buried alive to preserve its secrets. These stories, whether true or exaggerated, underscore the fear and paranoia that permeated the emperor's final project. The soldiers are silent, yet imposing, a tangible reminder of the human effort and suffering embedded in the tomb. They are both art and instrument of terror, immortalized in clay, standing guard for a ruler whose ambition knew no bounds. Their presence forces us to confront the reality of the emperor's reign, a combination of brilliance, cruelty, and obsession with power. As researchers continue to study the site, new technologies allow glimpses beneath the surface. Magnetic. Surveys, ground-penetrating radar, and chemical analysis suggest vast chambers, rivers of mercury, and treasures still waiting to be uncovered. Yet no one has entered the tomb's heart, leaving the true scope of its contents a mystery. The Terracotta Army, in all its silent majesty, remains the only signpost to a buried empire, a glimpse into the mind of a ruler who sought to defy death and dominate eternity. For more than 2,000 years, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang has been the subject of myths, rumors, and dark speculation. Stories tell of thousands of laborers executed to keep the tomb's secrets hidden forever. Others speak of traps, celestial maps, and treasures so vast they could rival any known in history. Scholars debate which accounts are factual and which are legend, but all agree on one point. The tomb is extraordinary, a site where history, imagination, and terror converge. The most enduring tales are those of death and secrecy. Ancient texts describe the tomb as a place where rivers of mercury flowed like liquid mirrors, ceilings depicted the heavens, and treasures gleamed in chambers hidden from human eyes. The emperor's fear of mortality extended to paranoia about the tomb itself. It was not merely a resting place, but a fortress, designed to punish anyone who dared enter. Some legends claim that even after death, the emperor's spirit would remain vigilant, aided by the thousands of clay soldiers who stood guard over his eternal kingdom. Modern technology confirms some of the ancient accounts. Soil analysis reveals abnormally high levels of mercury, hinting at subterranean rivers. Ground-penetrating radar suggests large, unexplored chambers. Yet the tomb's interior remains untouched, and no archaeologist has risked entering the heart of the emperor's domain. The fear of traps, contamination, and the unknown keeps the site sealed, preserving the aura of mystery that has surrounded it for centuries. Speculation continues about what treasures, palaces, and secrets lie within. Some believe the tomb contains vast hoards of gold, jade, and artifacts representing the emperor's earthly dominion. Others claim it may hold the bodies of workers, sacrificed to protect the emperor's legacy. Whatever lies within, the tomb is more than a grave. It is a repository of power, fear, and human ambition, a reflection of a ruler who sought to control not just his life, but eternity itself. The dark allure of the tomb has inspired countless attempts at investigation, yet every attempt reinforces its impenetrable mystery. From ancient times to the modern era, the world has been captivated by the emperor's vision, both terrified and fascinated by the possibility of uncovering its secrets. The tomb endures as a symbol of humanity's capacity for both greatness and cruelty, a monument to ambition that transcends life and death. The sealed tomb of Qin Shi Huang stands as one of history's greatest enigmas. It is more than a burial site. It is a statement, a testament, and a warning. Within its underground chambers lies a vision of power, terror, and ambition that continues to captivate the world. The first emperor sought immortality and, in doing so, created a legacy that defies time itself. Every brick, every soldier, every river of mercury is a reflection of his relentless will to dominate and endure. Even after more than 2 millennia, the tomb remains untouched, its secrets intact. The Terracotta Army stands vigilant, a silent warning and an invitation, hinting at a buried empire beyond imagination. The chambers below may contain treasures, palaces, and horrors beyond comprehension. They may also preserve the truest essence of the emperor's reign, brilliant, ruthless, and terrifying in its scope. As modern technology inches closer to unveiling the tomb's mysteries, the world is left to wonder, what will be revealed when its doors are finally opened? Will we witness a kingdom of unparalleled artistry and wealth, or a monument to obsession and death? Perhaps the greatest lesson lies not in the treasures, but in the story itself, a tale of ambition, fear, and the human desire to conquer time and mortality. Qin Shi Huang's tomb is a mirror to his reign, grand, meticulous, and deeply unsettling. It reminds us that history is not only written in victories and conquests, but in the silent sacrifices of those who built its monuments. The tomb endures as a symbol of power, terror, and the eternal human quest to defy death. A reminder that some secrets are meant to remain beyond reach, waiting for the courage, and perhaps the folly, of those who dare to uncover them. And so, beneath a mound of earth, hidden from view and untouched by time, the emperor waits. His kingdom lies silent, his soldiers eternal, and his secrets undisturbed. What lies within may forever challenge our understanding of ambition, mortality, and the limits of human achievement. The story of Qin Shi Huang is far from complete, and the tomb that shelters him remains one of history's most compelling, terrifying, and enduring mysteries. Qin Shi Huang's fear of death was all-consuming. Despite uniting China, establishing laws, and building monumental structures, nothing could quiet the shadow of mortality that haunted him. He viewed death as the ultimate enemy, a force that could undo everything he had achieved. No throne, no army, no palace could protect him from the inevitability of his own mortality, and so he became obsessed with escaping it. The emperor sent emissaries to the farthest corners of the known world, braving seas and mountains in search of legendary elixirs of life. Alchemists promised him potions containing rare metals, mystic, herbs, and magical compounds that could grant eternal youth. Desperate for immortality, he consumed these substances without hesitation, unaware that the very mercury they contained was slowly poisoning him. Each pill, taken in hope of eternal life, became a silent instrument of his demise. His obsession with immortality was not a secret indulgence. It shaped every aspect of his reign. Every decree, every law, and every grand construction project reflected his desire to transcend human limits. The tomb, above all, was the ultimate expression of this obsession. It was not simply a resting place, but an underground empire designed to mirror the world he ruled above. Rivers of mercury were said to flow beneath the earth, replicating the great rivers and oceans of China. Chambers lined with gold, jade, and rare treasures reflected his wealth and status. Ceilings painted with constellations created a cosmic map of the heavens, merging the earthly and divine. Thousands of clay soldiers were meticulously sculpted to guard him in death, each soldier unique in face, posture, and armor, poised as if ready to march at his command. Horses, chariots, and weapons were carefully positioned alongside these figures, forming a ghostly army capable of defending its emperor for eternity. This subterranean kingdom was an architectural marvel and a testament to his obsession with control, not only over life but over death itself. The human cost was enormous. Hundreds of thousands of peasants, laborers, and convicts were conscripted to build the tomb. They toiled for decades in harsh conditions, digging tunnels, carving stones, and shaping clay, all while knowing that their labor might be their last contribution to the world above. Some legends claim that those who completed the tomb were executed or buried alive to protect its secrets. Entire families vanished under the weight of the emperor's ambitions. The tomb, in this way, became not only a symbol of immortality, but also a mass grave, a monument carved in human sacrifice. Even as his empire flourished above ground, the emperor's mind remained consumed with what lay beneath. He believed that by creating a perfect, eternal resting place, he could extend his dominion beyond life. In his vision, the emperor would continue to rule through his tomb, a place of power, fear, and majesty. In essence, Qin Shi Huang was constructing not a grave, but a fortress of eternity. Every river of mercury, every clay soldier, and every